culture will not be high performing if people aren't willing to take risks. And that last 8%, it's really the gap between the risk you know you need to take and the risk you are taking. That's really what that last 8% is all about. Because you know what you need to do, right? You know the conversations you should have. You know the tough decisions you should make. And sometimes it's people decisions. And I have been guilty many times in my career of knowing someone isn't right for the job, but letting them stay in the job because it's hard, because I don't want to replace them, I don't want all that, right? So just sometimes those people, but that person, if they're underperforming or if they're having a negative impact, that affects the whole team, not just that person. We took those two pillars and we created a culture map. So on the left axis is courage, on the bottom axis is connection. So let's think about a culture that's on the upper left. It's high courage, but it's low connection. That's a transactional culture where results matter over relationships. It's more of a blame, make a mess environment. When something goes wrong, emails are flying, who's at fault? You have to endure toxic bad apples because they get results. But as I said, that one toxic bad apple can affect the performance of the whole team by 30 to 40%. The trap of groupthink is people are afraid to speak up. So again, you don't have the people pointing out mistakes, challenging the status quo, sharing new ideas. And finally, it's a high anxiety, high burnout environment. It can attain results over the short term, but it's not sustainable long term. All right, let's think about the bottom right. This is high connection but low courage. That is a family culture. That is a culture that is more of an avoidance culture. It's a nice culture, but people are unwilling to do hard things. It has mediocre standards. There isn't personal accountability, right? People aren't taking accountability. People are afraid to have conversations, performance conversations. It's slower decision making because everyone's got to agree and everyone's got to be happy, everyone's got to be involved, and there's nothing wrong with consensus decision making, but taken too far, it slows everything down. And finally, the trap of groupthink is people are hesitant to speak up because they don't want to upset others, right? They want to be liked. We all have a need to be liked. I wanted to be liked when I first got promoted. Well, if I made a decision someone didn't like in that moment, they don't like me. Now, we have a lot of clients who have a family culture, and they'll proudly say they're a family culture, and we'll say, you are not a family culture. You can't fire your lowest performing kid. You might want to, but you can't. There are lots of positive things of a family culture, right? There's care, there's trust, there's connection, so there's lots of positives, but without the risk taking, without the tough conversation and decisions, it can't be high performing. Bottom left, we don't see too much of this these days. Low courage, low connection, it's command and control, not much risk taking, a lot of bad apples. We see less of that these days. The aspiration, right, the North Star, is to be in the upper right-hand quadrant, which is a last 8% culture that's high in courage and connection, which is characterized by high accountability and high care. You can have both together, like I talked about at the beginning, that engagement and performance. So there's high trust and smart risk-taking. People feel safe. It's feedback rich. And it isn't just the manager giving feedback to the employees. It's also the employees because they're clear on what the culture is, they're clear on what the expectation is, and when somebody isn't showing up in alignment, they feel safe, they're giving feedback, which means as a manager, you don't have to do it. It's great. When the team is holding each other accountable, it's a great environment to be in. It's a balance of results and relationships, and it's high experimentation and high innovation. So as I said, the goal is to get to the upper right-hand quadrant.